I have for some time now been somewhat flummoxed by the idea of speed and time domain in microphones and loudspeakers. I understand the idea, but what does it sound like? Frequency response, I'm sure all of us can understand that idea, and we know what that will sound like. Resolution, we understand the idea, the detail, and I think we know what that would sound like if you put something over the front of a speaker or a microphone. You lose resolution, but the time domain, what does that sound like? I think I may have stumbled across an example. Maybe. But first of all, I've done a little bit of research, not much. You can do your own if you wish. I looked at Barefaced Based, who I remember talked about transient response, time domain. And it says, it's the ability of a speaker to start and stop exactly when the sound going into it should start and stop. I looked, of course, at Earthworks, because that's one of their big things. They say lightning fast transient response. Sound on Sound said it's been designed for optimal transient response and accuracy in the time domain. This helps avoid phasing and the smearing of harmonics, is what Earthworks say on their website. They also call it time coherence and phase response. Now, this is all getting a bit beyond me, so I'm not sure if these are quite the same things. Often people use different terms for the same thing. Maybe there are subtle differences. But for us, really, what does it matter if we don't even know what we're listening to? That's what I was concerned about. Resolution in the digital world is to do with sample rate and bit depth. In the analog world, I imagine it's molecular, much finer, but have you got the engineering? So to give you a visual representation of what I understand the time domain thing is that when something starts, this isn't sharp enough, but something starts, this immediately responds to that. There's no sluggishness, and also the diaphragm, this is I'm talking about, or speaker diaphragm, also it doesn't overshoot and take a while to come back. So it needs to be absolutely precise. I imagine then that whatever this is would need to be light and need to be extremely well engineered. So, I'm going to play a clip from the previous video, and I'd appreciate your comments, because maybe it's all baloney. I think I noticed the speed of the SV33. I'm on the road at the moment, but in the clip it's the SV33, the Earthworks. You know what it looks like. That's the cat coming in for his chicken. So in the clip I'm on this, and let me tell you something about the clip, some information for you if I may. I noticed the speed after I'd done the test, and the test I was doing wasn't particularly about, I didn't have speed in mind, but I noticed. So I liked that because it was innocent. I think in my slight excitement I did it again, but of course now I was aware of that, and maybe I changed my voice. Very difficult, isn't it? So please be aware of that. Also be aware that the starting and stopping of the microphone diaphragm, it's gone through processing, it's on the internet for you, and then it's coming out of your speakers. Do they start and stop as quickly? So they're going to smear some of that. But nonetheless, maybe some gets through. So if you don't mind, you take a listen and see if you hear what I see, or even if you see what I hear. This is the NTA. This is the NTA. This is the NT. This is the NT. This is the 33. Ha. This is the 33. Ha. This is the 33. So, I'm not comparing these to the 33. That'd be ridiculous. But just so you get to know what maybe as far as I can tell anyway, what this speed thing is. Seems to me that round there, on the 33, I can hear into that, it seems to me. This is the NT, see again, immediately. To me, you get a representation of that, but I can't hear the detail. Check, you have to listen for yourself. Could all be baloney. Yeah? I can't hear the detail. I can't hear the detail. I get the shape, but I can't hear the detail. NT coming up. Still can't hear the detail. I get the idea, but I don't get the detail. 33 coming up. Suddenly, to my ears, I can hear in there, which I love. But back to these two.